Alright, what's up guys? I got another video. I promised you guys I was going to be uploading more videos on YouTube. I got a CFM video coming this week, so I know a lot of you guys have been asking about that. But before we start, man, yo, the DCs in Weekend League have been absolutely wild. The disconnects, if you guys are playing Weekend League, man, I'm sure you guys feel the same pain, but this was actually from last weekend. We're going to go ahead and match up with someone who is 24-0 at the time, so we have a chance to ruin his perfect record. We had a chance to keep our perfect record alive as well. This is going to be a crazy game. I'm going to talk a little bit about my spread offense in this game, as well as some tips to go ahead and beat players who you think are better than you. If you go load into a game, you load up with a pro, you know you're at match. I'm going to give you guys some tips at the end of the video to go ahead and help beat those types of people, because it happens to me as well. Even in this day and age, trust me, these tips that I talk about in this video are going to help you guys a lot. If you guys do appreciate those, man, please leave me a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I want you guys to comment below, man, what's the best Weekend League record you've ever had? What's your absolute best Weekend League? I've gone 25-0 a couple times this year. I was unfortunately not able to do it this weekend, but I'm going to try to do it again. It doesn't seem very likely with how rampant the disconnects are. That seems kind of wild. Hopefully EA fixes that, but I won't rant on too much longer. This is a really good gameplay. Like I said, I talk about some really important stuff for improving your game outside of, just your mechanical skills. So I hope you guys do enjoy that. Practice it. If you guys have any comments about it, if you guys have anything like that, go ahead, feel free to go ahead and comment down below. I definitely read all my comments. I appreciate the support as always. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the highlights. All right, so here we go, guys. We're running that Tampa Bay spread offense. This was actually the original spread I ran back at the start of Madden 19. This was the playbook that got me into Madden. It was actually the Cardinals playbook at the time, but as you guys know, Bruce Arians went ahead down to Tampa Bay, switched over to the Bucs playbook, still largely the same. Really haven't had any new additions or any takeaways from it over the last couple years. And honestly, I think it's still one of the best spreads in the game, probably top two. I'm still enjoying that Ravens spread a ton, but I just feel some nostalgia running this spread. I love it, man. It's got some really nice plays in here. It's got some fades. It's got some deep posts. Got some good crossers here, man. I'm loving this play, post trail. One of my favorite plays in the game. Super good against man. I mean, as I say that, I'm getting absolutely bagged by man, but we actually find a really nice dot crossfield to Julio Jones there. Some nice vision from us, but I always get the question, man, Kmac, why do you run spread? Why don't you just run bunts or trips tight end like every other pro player? And the answer is, man, at the time, the 3-3-5 odd blitz at the start of Madden 19 was super effective. Even if you were in a formation like bunch and you were max protecting, it could still come in. It was honestly just a super fluky blitz, super inconsistent. You get these DTA gaps, these disengaged, from the D tackle a lot of the times, and it was just super difficult to block. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to even worry about blocking it. The blocking's so inconsistent. I'm going to get in a formation that you simply cannot blitz. And it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when you think about it. Like, spread doesn't have a tight end on the line. It only has one running back in the backfield. So it can't really pick up a blitz. If your opponent's sending 6 and hovering over the D-line, or if your opponent is sending 7, like, you're pretty much screwed. Like, someone's going to come in free every single time. But the thing about spread is the spacing is so good. It doesn't matter what hash you're on. A lot of people prefer one hash or another, or if they're in chip side end, they just like if they're in the middle of a field, if they're in the middle of a hash, like they will just go ahead and just waste a play to get on a hash. With spread, you don't have to worry about that, man. It doesn't matter what hash you're on, what side of the field you're on, if you're in the middle or not. It doesn't matter. You can run it to either side. It's completely identical. You don't really have to worry about motions too much. You can certainly motion if you want to, but for the most part, all the route combos do not involve really any motions like that, and it's just about making quick reads. Honestly, man, it sounds kind of difficult. There's certainly a skill gap to running spread, in my opinion. It took me a little while before I got super comfortable in it, just getting the timing down, working on my pocket presence, things like that. But as long as you're making those quick reads against the blitz, man, you don't have to worry about the blitz. You don't have to worry about inconsistent blocking. You don't have to worry about anything like that. All you have to worry about is making the right read. And it's a lot better when you're responsible for yourself. You don't have to rely on something that's super inconsistent like your O-line's ability to block. You have no control over that, as we have great control right here in the pocket. Dante Culpepper with some of the best pocket presence I've had all year. We throw a dot to an open receiver. Reggie Bush in the back of the backfield, unfortunately, doesn't get his feet in bounds. That would have been one of my best clips all year. Oh my goodness, I needed that so bad. 2nd and 10 though. We're going to get some payback right here. A beam to the corner of the end zone right there to Julio Jones. In my opinion, the best wide receiver in the game. I'm loving this card. Chad Ochocinco Johnson, great as well, though. I'm using Route Tech and Slot Apprentice on them. Get those extra routes in the slot. Get the crossers that help against man. Get the corner routes like there. Again, good against man coverage. Right here, my opponent's running that A-slot offset. We're sending the screamers at him. And, yeah, I'm feeling kind of unstoppable on offense, man. I'm kind of feeling like I'm back. I mean, I've been pretty good in spread all year. Like I said, I've been running that Raven spread. Definitely one of the best spreads in the game, in my opinion. Probably the best. I would probably go Tampa Bay at number 2. As my opponent makes a pretty bad mistake right here, you can see he's got some pretty good passing stats, but I don't know why he would go for that. There's only 20 seconds left. Even if you convert that, you pretty much have no time left. Like, the likelihood of you scoring any points, even if you convert, pretty unlikely. He's going to mess up, give us 3 before half, give us a 2-possession lead, and that is absolutely huge because he does, in fact, get ball at half. He should have punted, taken a 7-point lead, drove down, scored 7 or got 3, and then went ahead and just worked from there. But he makes a huge mistake, makes this game a lot easier on us. And, yeah, he's throwing a lot of table routes to the running back, man. I'm kind of just giving it to him. I'm just waiting for him to throw other routes. As you can see, again, he kind of has a table route. I had someone manned up on him, but, yeah, wasn't able to get out there. The fade is actually the route that burns us this time. So my opponent's got some pretty nice dots here. You know, we just forced him into one mistake, and honestly, that goes into something I wanted to say for a while, man. A lot of people ask me, yo, Kmac, I get nervous in a lot of big games. I can't seem to beat these pro players, these people that are way better than me. Do you have any tips for just improving my win-loss record, my win-loss ratio in general? And honestly, one of the things I like to tell people a lot is just hang in there. Do not make mistakes. A lot of these pro players, myself included, have pretty big egos, man. You know, we don't like to admit that we're not as good or we're not playing as well as we normally do. Right there, we actually had the crosser wide open to Julio Jones. I just floated a little bit too far to the left. I had it wide open. If I stood tall in the pocket or floated right, probably would have been a touchdown to Julio Jones. I don't think anyone's catching him. My opponent's going to run a glitch right here. He basically did on the first 2 downs for not many yards, but he's going to be able to get in the end zone right there with Mariota. Definitely haven't seen that before. Certainly a glitch with the camera changing and stuff like that. I think he's manipulating a quarterback run, but we got a chance here, man. We got to respond. I'm feeling, like I said, I'm feeling unstoppable on offense. And going back to what I was saying about hanging in games, don't make mistakes like this guy did right before half, man. He basically just gifted me a free 3. He gifted me a 2-possession lead at half, and it just makes it so much easier for me. I can go ahead and do stuff like this where I just run inside zone with Reggie Bush and just take it to the crib. You know, I don't really run the ball a lot, but when I do, I got some pretty decent run vision, some pretty decent run stick. Reggie Bush, the best running back in the game, bringing me back to 2-possession lead. I'm just able to coast, man. Like, I don't really feel any pressure when I'm up 2 possessions. Certainly, this game was close all the way up until the end, but I never felt like there was a moment where I wasn't in complete control of the match, and that was largely due to the fact that he just messed up before half. So if you're playing someone who you think is better than you think you might be outmatched, do not make a mistake, man. Right there, I make a mistake. I tried to blitz everyone when I should have just been playing max coverage the entire drive, milking as much clock as possible. It's okay if we give up points, but I want him to score below the 2-minute warning. And by blitzing 7 and giving him huge 20, 30-yard gains, it's just making it way too easy on him. Again, way too easy on pretty much every single play. Just make your opponent work for it, man. Just hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. And then when the opportunity presents itself, man, that's when you have to take advantage of it. Your opponent scrambles. They try to get sticky with their quarterback. You know, they don't slide. They try to go for a deep bomb instead of taking their check down. Because like I said, man, a lot of these pro players, a lot of these really good players in Madden, they have egos. If they haven't heard of you before, they're going to think you're bad at Madden. They're going to think you have no right to be in the game with them, and that's where you can go ahead and capitalize on that type of mindset. Honestly, it's something I do as well. Even though I consider myself one of the better Madden players in the world, there's certainly people who are better than me, people who have more earnings, people who have more success in tournaments. You know, I still haven't had that success necessarily. I've had some decent success, but I really have only been competing for like 2 or 3 years. So there's definitely a lot of pros out there who be considered favorites against me, and I use that mindset to my advantage as well, man. I'll go ahead, you know, they'll be like, oh, Kmac's a streamer, he's a YouTuber, he has no business being in the game with me. I'll take advantage of that. I'll go ahead, you know, capitalize on the moments where I have a window to do so. And yeah, just a great tip for winning more games. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace.